Okay, thanks very much, guys, for coming. My name's Dan Betts. I'm the chief executive of a company called Hummingbird Resources. If I can tell you a little bit about Hummingbird, we're a West African gold company. We have two operating mines in West Africa, one in Mali called Yanfolila, which produced 84,000 ounces of gold last year, and a new mine in Guinea called Kouroussa. We also have a third project called Dugbe, which is in Liberia. I'll tell you a little bit about these as we go on. I think the key message I want to get across today with Hummingbird is that 2024 is a huge year for us. We will be more than doubling our production as the second mine in Guinea comes on stream, and we will be fulfilling our ambition to become a multi-mine, multi-jurisdictional gold company. We have a very strong financial partnership with Kouroussa Bank, who have funded us to build both of these mines. And as long as we deliver on our operational promises this year, we should see a huge re-rating in the equity of Hummingbird as that debt gets paid down. Hummingbird is listed on the AIM market in London. The market capitalization is about £80 million. The audited cash and gold on hand at the end of 2023 was just over $7.5 million. And the proceeds from a placement we did at the end of the year, an additional circa $23 million came in since that time. We have a strong shareholder base, obviously dominated by the shareholding of CIG Group. Sustainability has always been at the core of what we do, so I wanted to put this slide up front. We are proud that we were a founding member of an initiative called Single Mine Origin, and gold from our mine and future mines are sold in jewelry all over the world. We're also a member of the World Gold Council and the ET Initiative. So a little bit about 2023. We produced 84,000 ounces of gold from the Yanfolila mine at an all-in cost of just under $1,350 an ounce. Our industry-leading safety record meant that we did 2 million lost hours at Kouroussa with no lost time at all for injuries, which is a huge achievement for the team. I want to talk a little bit about the individual assets, if I could. So at Yanfolila, we are looking to extend the mine life significantly at Yanfolila by drilling the underground resource out during this year as the underground mine becomes a bigger part of the production profile there. We are currently developing that underground mine, and from 2025, underground ore will make about 50% of the feed for this mine. Yanfolila is a 1.4 million tonne per annum plant, and in terms of the open pit volumes moved, it's about 1 million tonnes of ore per year. The reserve at Yanfolila is just under 600,000 ounces, and as I say, as we get into the development of the underground, we will be looking to increase the underground reserves that are open. At Kouroussa, our newest mine in Guinea, we obviously started building this project at the start of COVID. So we achieved completion on the plant in June of this year, and it was achieved on time and on budget, which, considering some of the challenges in the region, is something that we're very proud of. The ramp-up of Kouroussa has been hit with a few challenges, not least at Christmas. There was an explosion at the fuel depot in Guinea, which took the fuel supply out for pretty much the whole region. So the last month has been quite a challenge, but I'm pleased to say that the operation is back up and running at full capacity, and we are running the plant at more than nameplate capacity. So the key for Kouroussa here now is to access the ore as quickly as we can to get the grade so that we can be into commercial production. The main focus for Hummingbird this year is to pay down the debt on our balance sheet as quickly as we can. So the key to doing that is moving the tons and operational performance at Kouroussa. I think whereas Yanfolila was a very mature exploration project when we bought it from Gold Fields, the exploration potential there is more underground and near the pits and resources we've got. I think at Kouroussa, it's really a huge opportunity in terms of exploration. There's not really been much money spent on exploration at all. Our resources have been focused on building the plant and getting the operation up and running. But this year we are committing more funds to exploration at Kouroussa. And with a short mine life of circa 6 years on the current reserve base, every 120,000 ounces of reserves we can add is another year to the mine life. So the transition into material MPV re-ratings and cash flow that you can see immediately is very strong. So it's going to be a major focus of ours this year is exploration at Kouroussa. In terms of context, Kouroussa is a higher grade deposit than Yanfolila. The plant is a 1 million ton a year plant. We think that there is potential in the plant to run it a little bit harder than 1 million tons a year, but the grade is obviously significantly higher, so that's why the ounce production is more than Yanfolila. The third project that Hummingbird has is where the company began. We discovered the deposit Dugbe in Liberia a long time ago now. It's a huge deposit, 4 million ounce resource with nearly a 3 million ounce reserve. The reason that I'm bringing this up now, having been dormant for quite a while in Hummingbird, is that during Q4, we transferred our share in the project into a controlling share of Pasofino Gold, which is the listed company in Canada that owns 100% of the Dugbe Gold Project. At the current gold price, the Duie Project has an MPV of almost $1 billion, 200,000 ounces of production a year for the first 5 years, with an initial mine life of 14 years. The other thing about Dugbe is the exploration potential is vast, an almost 2,000 kilometer land package that was never explored until Hummingbird got there. So in terms of the future development of Hummingbird and the potential value of this project, it's enormous. The question is, how do we unlock that value and finance the building of the project? We are looking at a whole number of different options, from partners to different ways to develop the project. And not surprisingly, with gold at $2,000, now seems to be a good time to attract interest. So I'm confident that during this year, we can take that project forward in a material way and show the market a route to funding and future cash flows. So looking forward a little bit, guidance for this year, we're putting out guidance of 165,000 to 200,000 ounces produced across both mines for the year. That's quite a wide guidance, but the reason for that is because the exact nature of the ramp up at Kouroussa and when we start hitting grade, every week makes a huge difference to that production profile. So within a matter of weeks, you could have a 10,000 ounce differential. So we're looking to refine this guidance in the middle of the year, and that will obviously have an impact on the cost, the biggest driver of your cost being ounces. But in the region of 90 to 115,000 ounces from Kouroussa and a 75 to 85,000 ounce guidance from Yanfolila. If we manage to achieve these targets, obviously this will more than double our production profile. It will turn Hummingbird from a single asset company into a multi-mine company, diversified across two countries with a third development project. I think this is clearly like the seminal point to take away for Hummingbird's ambitions for the year. In terms of exploration, this is quite a busy slide, but the slide on your right is Yanfolila, and the slide at the bottom is Kouroussa. As I've already mentioned, the targets at Yanfolila are going to be based from the underground development. There are a couple of open pit targets to augment that feed, but most of our dollars will be spent on underground drilling to extend the reserve life at Yanfolila. At Kouroussa, we will be working outwards from the pits so we can get ounces to bring into the mine plan as quickly as possible, but there are a huge number of targets. We also have a number of exploration licenses pending in Guinea, so assuming we are granted those, then our exploration program will extend out beyond the immediate proximity. I think beyond extending the mine life and exploration, our key ambition for 2024 is to deleverage our balance sheet. It's become stretched during the build-up of building Kouroussa, and now is the moment of truth where we can start getting grade through the mill, generating cash, paying down the balance sheet. And if we achieve these goals, which I'm confident we will, then 12 months from now, Hummingbird will be an extremely different company to the one it is now. So on a final note, messages I'd like to leave you with, Hummingbird has become a multi-asset gold company with 2 producing mines. Guidance for the year of aiming for 200,000 ounces of gold at under $1,500 an ounce. Hopefully we are being conservative in that guidance. We have a strong financial backing and partnership with Kouroussa Bank and our largest shareholder, and our ambition is to pay down our balance sheet aggressively to give us the flexibility we need to continue to grow the business. We will also be looking to take the Duie project forward and announce how we plan to finance that project. If we achieve these, obviously the last point is self-evident, there should be strong equity re-rating potential in the stock. So on that basis, thank you very much for your time. Cheers.